Yeah, you looking at the screen, right? Yep. I am back, right back at it. Just to show, because at the end of the day, what I wanted to do, I wanted to make sure that I gave credit to the right. I had to find, I searched real quick for the original video, just as well as if people want to go find that original video, because I always try to make sure that I give people credit to their content. The original video of this globe and the NAZCA lines can be found at this channel right here. CF apostrophe apps 7865. That's who apparently originally made this video. So this is the origin, this is the creator, this is the person who discovered this. That's why the likes are now. See, I'm gonna tell y'all now, I can tell there's some people in their feelings, but that's the thing, y'all. And the reason why I say I can tell there's people in their feelings because of my likes ratio. It's funny to me, man. It's hilarious because I knew that was gonna happen. You think I wasn't prepared for that? At the end of the day, check this out, bro. That means nothing compared to y'all using your mind like I am doing. And at the end of the day, what do you have to say? If you're a flat earther hitting the dislike button just because you don't like what you're hearing, but it's facts being shown here, what facts do you have that you can? And that's the whole purpose on making this stream, for us to shout this out and to announce to y'all to, dude, I could open the panel, or I could just simply have y'all do something in the comment section. Either way it go, you can do what you want to do. Either way it goes, I know that I have facts behind what I'm talking about. And if you have facts, you need to provide them. One needs to explain how these lines are going southward and are still wrapping back around. They're going westward, eastward, northeastward, north, and all wrapping around to one point, the same point. And not only is it wrapping around to the same point, it's showing the similarities between two different cultures. The Chicana, which deals with the Inca, and then the Indian. I've also Indian, IN. Both of those cultures start with IN. Maybe there's some significance right there within the etymology. We always do etymology, right? So IN is the first syllable there. I think that means something. But Angkor Wat, the geometry of Angkor Wat, and not only see, when you look at Angkor Wat, Angkor Wat is in the same vicinity. It's not too far from Borobudur, the exact place that I was talking about yesterday. I'm looking up the distance now. Might be a good minute. Yeah, well, they're almost on the same line of, what is it? Longitude. Almost on the same line of longitude, but they're pretty far away from each other. The Borobudur Temple is way out, in the island. I don't even know what island it really is, honestly. Singapore, I think, or Malaysia. Either way it go, it's all a broken up landmass that's almost connected. But specifically, it's going to Angkor Wat, and Angkor Wat is in India. India dealing with which is more tying in even more to what I was saying, more than Borobudur. Borobudur more has the exact map that I was showing with the numbers, and then Angkor Wat is directly in India. So that's, I mean, at the end of the day, that is, well, it's not in India. I'm incorrect when I'm saying in India. It's in Cambodia. It's right by India, from the same vicinity. That lets you know that I'm not very heavy on Angkor Wat. Uh, I mean, is that considered? Because I might be. It might be India or Thailand. Is not in. They're two different. Let me look it up. Angkor Wat is a 12th century Hindu temple built in the style of medieval Khmer structure architecture in Siam Reap province. Hmm. Both the nations are part of non-aligned movement. India established formal looking into Cambodia when Cambodia was internationally isolated. Either way it go, it's it's right in the same vicinity as India, which that furthermore justifies what I'm saying as far as that Chicana is clearly a Chicana and not a Indian. What do you call it? Yantra.
More NAZCA line video here.
That's the Chicana, and what I'm revealing is dealing with the Tetragrammaton, which is I didn't expect, but this is the original video.
Now, I think I pretty much figured out that the key to the NAZCA lines is plotting them out over the whole Earth. I took a couple of the major lines and they intersected at Angkor Wat, and I thought that was the key. So what I did is I took most of the major lines and I plotted them all around the Earth. See what that would look like. Well, this is what it started out as I first started plotting them, and I wanted to make sure I got all the angles right. And it looks like a jumbled mess. Now let me show you what it looks like on a planetary view. These are the NAZCA lines spread out over the whole Earth.
Now, to the people who are flat earthers, this is what you have to comprehend. For me to have dislikes, that means that you are in disagreement. And I comprehend that. I ain't mad at that. I want you to, at the end of the day, prove me wrong. How is this doing this like this? This ain't something that you make up. The cultures themselves, like I said, is tying into flight. The same exact regions of the earth, India, close to India at least. And then the ley lines aspect is going through all of the major places. I mean, I could go to the internet and show, I could go to the internet and show where it's going through all of the other major places like Egypt and everything. These lines go through everywhere, but still going to it's showing the original like yeah, when y'all be questioning about the ley lines and stuff like that, bro. NAZCA is like the central aspect of where that stuff was started. See, these people knew and studied the geography of the earth enough to know which places would be the most driest and be able to, you know, for the lines to stay unbothered as long as they have.
Zoom out a little here. And if you plot the NAZCA lines around the whole
and
Earth,
when you look at and when you research the Chicana and do the research that I've done, look into the Chicana and that or the root name, the Andean cross. Look into the Andean cross, and you'll find out more about the fact that that it wasn't just the mandala. Why do I keep saying mandala? It wasn't just the what do you see the geoglyph that you see me doing the overlay there. It's not the only thing that you see there that has the Chicana. Their pottery that you find in NAZCA have what I think is called a teapot. What because the Chauvin culture, I think they called it because that's the thing. Chauvin and NAZCA, those different those cultures were, I think, back to back when they existed, but they were the exact same region. The Chauvin actually built pyramids down in NAZCA. That's what a lot of people don't know. So the people who don't know about NAZCA and y'all talk about pyramids on the earth, there are actually pyramids down in NAZCA too. Yes, there's pyramids down in NAZCA. And You know, they've never been talked about like that by or mentioned because they're not. Well, I'm talking about by other truthers out here and everything that, but because I wouldn't know about them if they hadn't been mentioned. But you know what I mean.
Earth, this is what it looks like. They all converge at Angkor Wat.
So that's why I say debunk that flat earthers. Debunk that.
And they all converge at NAZCA.
I've been, I comprehend where the flat Earth and everything is coming from, man. I get that. I get that. What we witness, what we can tangibly witness, I ain't changing that. I comprehend that. But y'all got to comprehend what I'm saying. These lines coming from the south should not wrap back up around to Angkor Wat like that. And furthermore, him doing a perfect overlay on the lines like that. And there was somebody in the comment section, one of the top comments said you was something like you was a something. I'm probably not genius, but you was a genius for doing that. You know, because he was. I mean, the dude put the. That's the thing, man. The dude put the thing directly over it, and his conscience led him to wrap it all the way around the earth just to see where the lines. You know, what happens. Don't y'all not do your are your brains failing to comprehend the fact that them lines would that ain't just by chance? Are you failing to comprehend how big the earth is? Think about that. Think about your longest drive you most recently took or have taken in life. Think about your longest plane flight. Okay. Think about how big this earth is and think about that.
Hey everybody, I decided to make one more NAZCA line video here. Now I think I pretty much figured out that the key to the NAZCA lines is plotting them out over the whole Earth.
How is this being faked? How is this being faked?
I took a couple of the major lines and they intersected at Angkor Wat, and I thought that was the key. So what I did is I took most of the major lines and I plotted them all around the Earth. See what that would look like. Well, this is what it started out as I first started plotting them, and I wanted to make sure I got all the angles right. And it looks like a jumbled mess. Now let me show you what it looks like on a.
And people wonder why it's going through these cities and stuff. See, when it come down to electromagnetism and all of that stuff, me thinking from the essence of the ancestors and what we got to look at the earth, and that's why I drew out the earth like I did with my stuff and explain, not saying that the earth is a literal marijuana plant, but I likened it to a plane, net, which is the freaking word that we've been using. And y'all want to deal away with planet, flat earthers, but I was telling y'all just to justify flat earth and even shows how much I'm, woke to what y'all saying, plane and net, the word plane is in it. And don't you say that we live in a net? So, I mean, that's right there. That's right there enough. But the thing is, on the flat earth, what I'm trying to get y'all to realize is if you laid these lines on the flat earth, guess what? It wouldn't make sense. If you on any of the flat earth maps. Besides what FPV is doing, that's the only way. And even with what FPV is doing, like I'm saying, the lines would go off of the paper, off of the grid. It wouldn't wrap back around to this. The lines, it's almost like an arrow pointing to a bathroom, y'all. It's almost like an arrow pointing to the men's bathroom. And if you try to argue or go against this in your mind, you tripping. Because and I can't make nobody think nothing or realize nothing, but a fact is a fact. The lines is pointing straight. That's why I tell y'all 9 is line. And a line, one thing about line is masculine energy. A line is masculine energy and it's based on logic. If you really look at that. Measurement, okay? Complete and straightforward logic. Ain't no jumping around, nothing. It's always a straight line from point A to point B. That's something a lot of people ain't realize in life. You can always make a straight line from point A to point B. And that's exactly what they're showing right here. The different lines are going at different degrees and everything, and looping back around at the same spot. It's more than one line because with experimentation, I could get if it was one ley line. You know how they be showing the ley lines of the earth and everything like that? I could get if it was one ley line. I could get that. This ain't just one, dog. This is multiple, dog. They discover new stuff on Google Earth every day. You know, they discover new stuff on Google Earth every day. So this ain't nothing that's just plastered here. And furthermore, if I go, there's actually something I was trying to bring up in the past dealing with the NAZCA lines in conjunction with all of the other monuments, stone monuments set up, Machu Picchu and everything. And they was talking about the 45th parallel, 45. And I was trying to find that and I could not find it. I couldn't find what they was talking about 45 degrees within that, not from the aspect of what I'm talking about, the 40 on the compass. They was talking about the line of latitude or longitude, one of the two. 45. Extremely significant, they were saying. I remember a long time ago, it was a brother brought up something. It said, what have people learned from the 4 and the 5? A whole bunch. A whole bunch.
On a planetary view. These are the NAZCA lines spread out over the whole Earth.
Dude, look at that. This ain't by chance, man. If you trace a line, the line ain't ever supposed to go off. It's like an arrow. This is really so common sense.
Zoom out a little here.
And this is where with the flat earth stuff, you talk about cognitive dissonance, you talk about this, talk about that. Man.
And if you plot the NAZCA lines around the whole Earth, this is what it looks like. They all converge at Angkor Wat. And they all converge at NAZCA. So I think straight lines are made for a reason. They're meant to be followed. So
exactly,
this is the NAZCA lines.
Bro, and look, it ain't nothing mainly but niggas following me. It's crazy how white people pick, like, bro, and we the ones who not potentially created the doggone lines. Man, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. Y'all off beat, man. If you don't get what I'm saying, bro, this is crazy, man. And any flat earth they got some explaining to do, boy. Real talk.
If they continued over the whole Earth, what they would look like. Now, I think that is pretty damn cool.
And you want to see how this is how FPV does it. FPV, when he overlays it, when they overlay it, this is how they overlay it on the Earth. Now think about those lines being applied here in this aspect. This is why I say, I've honestly stated in the past, I love their work, and I can see where, but I've always in the back of my mind questioned, I said something just ain't right, just to overlay it on it like that. There's nothing that directly tells,
where I saw large beasts different from each other and birds various in their countenances and forms, as well as with notes of different sounds. To the east of these beasts I perceived the extremities of the earth where heaven ceased. The gates of heaven stood open, and I beheld the celestial stars come forth. I numbered them as they proceeded out of the gate, and wrote them all down as they came out one by one according to their number. I wrote down.
That's not a good display. He's live right now. I should have known, but shout out to them. This is a 24-hour stream. This thing sure enough gonna trip unloading this. I might as well cut it. Go to one of the old videos to show it. I mean, one can vaguely see it right there. He basically takes the flat parallel map and overlays it on that.
Okay, so that is a technical process that is connected to what mainstream call a pole shift event.
Here it is.
Would you like to meet Noah? This is created by Noah. The morning glory is very aptly named, isn't it?
So that's, if you pay attention,
Okay.
that's the exact NAZCA star right there. This is where South America is at. This is where, what's the name is at? North America. And this is where Africa is at. I'm not just saying I don't concur with it just for no reason. Where did they get the instruction to take this specific geoglyph out of the many 45-degree geoglyphs that are there to just overlay and choose this one to overlay on the Earth? Why this one? They have more 45-degree stars, estrellas, all throughout the Nazca Desert. That's because part of what that is communicating something dealing with up in the sky, and it's different checkpoints. That's why all of them look different. It's a map. And so just putting this star right here, where is the room for the rest of the stars? You know what I mean? And furthermore, like I said, with the NAZCA lines, as we saw, from NAZCA, the lines going southward down toward what we call Antarctica down here, those lines going downward are not being expressed right. Like, this is not taking into account the lines themselves that are actually down there. So the lines right here, if you put those same lines that were just shown in the globe video, if you put them on right here, as you can see, it'll just go on infinitely on the map that's like this. It would do that. That's a fact. The lines will go on infinitely. They don't stop at any particular region that has any links with NAZCA. Well, for whatever reason, that's not the same case when you put that on the globe. And I'm not advocating and running for the globe or nothing like that. But like I say, if I see something that's common sense based, bro, and it's right in front of your face, and you can't, I mean, what can you make up to argue with that? Anybody can make up anything, and I'm open ears for it. Like I say, I can't be on here super long. I just had to go ahead and let that be said. What am I saying here? I mean, it's pretty much, man, it's really speaking for itself, my guy. I mean, you can look into it more. I get where you're coming from with the questioning, because he probably wasn't here for the full stream last time. But look more into this specifically. The video that I just showed before this one with the globe and the lines coming from NAZCA. I'll go over it one more time briefly, just for that. Now, what I'm saying is for we saying that the Earth is flat, right? Or a lot of people are saying that the Earth is flat. That's what the whole, this truth journey with a lot of people been about.
Hey, everybody, I decided to make one more.
What I'm saying is, and NAZCA is down south. The first compass was actually magnetized down south. That's what a lot of flat earthers don't like to talk or won't mention either. I realize they jump over that. The first compass that was made, do you all know what it looks like? I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I came in late. I feel it. That's 100. I don't mind. The first compass, (45 degrees). See, this is not correct right here. I don't know. See, they always try to whitewash that, something like that. The first compass, man. That is not the true. Okay, and when was that? He got a picture, so I know that ain't true. The first compass ever made. The first compass. Goodness. That's the first compass, okay? That's accurate. This is the first compass. I don't know what their problem is. The first compass ever made, this compass was invented in China during the Han Dynasty between 2nd century BC and 1st century AD, where it was called the South Governor, or South Pointing Fish. The magnetic compass was not at first used for navigation, but for geomancy and fortune telling by the Chinese. Now, that's highly important. Was not at first. It's not saying that it can't be used for navigation, but at first it was not. But when you read up on this compass, the first compass ever was actually magnetized to the South Pole. That's just a fact, man. Flat earthers themselves, I know they'll say this and say that, but if you look up the information and they don't need, look, when I brought up this to flat earthers, they didn't know that this was the first, they didn't even know about this first compass right here. Okay. They didn't even know about that. And this is all based on still 45 degrees. Now, what was I about to type up? First compass ever made. Let me go back. Well, obviously, with that. But yeah, that's just a highly important part to be made right there. That's the first compass that was ever made, and most people don't even know that was magnetized to the South Pole, or at least said to be magnetized to the South Pole. Let me see. Okay, now I'm back to the video. Now, the essence of what I was saying, I should have went to the flat earth before this, but what I was saying, the whole big thing just to sum everything up before I go, the big point that I'm making about the flat earth is, of course, everybody's saying that the earth is flat. The NAZCA lines is what I'm saying, specifically help prove the essence, possibly. I'm not, like I said, I'm not concluding on it. They just don't even want me to question nothing. The people, they don't want me to question nothing, obviously, but at least the flat earth. But these lines that go south, whenever you look at, or if you took these lines in their direction on a flat earth and applied that to an AE map, or the map that I just showed you that FPV Angel, which is also a flat earther, is using, if you take these lines and draw them outwards like that, they be either pointing off into nothing, or they'd be basically pointing off into nothing at all. It's because, or going past Antarctica and whatever is flat earthers claim that it's other lands and everything beyond
video
that.
Here,
but we don't have any proof of that besides drawing up maps. So therefore, what are they talking about besides beliefs? If they say that there's other lands, we don't have any confirmation. We've never witnessed any other lands, and no flat earther can tell me I'm going off of beliefs right now, because I'm showing facts. And what I'm saying is these lines that go south based on the essence of a flat earth should not point, if the globe is not correct, these lines would not intersect all down, because the line is not deviating, it's not curving, it's staying straight, just like this man mentioned. And it's proving the essence of circumnavigation, being able to go in one complete straight line, point one straight line to the same point, because you can't do this on the ground. People be talking about circumnavigation, but you can't circumnavigate on the ground because you have to get in a boat, and that boat eventually, once you get on the land, you ain't never gonna be able to walk a straight line or drive a straight line on land. You're gonna bump into a lake, you're gonna bump into a cliff somewhere across the continent, somewhere. It wouldn't be possible. The only way that you can factually circumnavigate, if one could try, is through flight. Which this right here, these lines can only be seen from the sky. Okay. So if anything, if these people, being that we can see this from the sky like this, what this also lets me know, if I was flying in ancient days, these lines will also help you. If they pass this certain area, they will help guide somebody, kind of like a compass. They help guide them in the correct, to stay on the correct straight road or whatever. But anyway, yeah, these lines, as you can see, the southern lines, if these southern lines don't, I mean, they all coming back to the same point, and that's crazy.
Now, I think I pretty much figured out that the key to the NAZCA lines is plotting them out over the whole Earth. I took a couple of the major lines and they intersected at Angkor Wat, and I thought that was the key. So what I did is I took most of the major lines and I plotted them all around the Earth. See what that would look like. Well, this is what it started out as I first started plotting them, and I wanted to make sure I got all the angles right. And it looks like a jumbled mess. Now let me show you what it looks like on a planetary view. These are the NAZCA lines spread out over the whole Earth.
See the lines pointing south? What I'm pointing out right now, and this is very easy to comprehend. On a flat Earth, I'm going to show the map later. On a flat Earth, the lines that is pointing south, right here where my compass is at, they are going to automatically by default, because they're going the opposite of the north, which is the center. Anything going out from the center is and a line going out from the center, which once you pass NAZCA, all of these lines going out this way on a flat Earth, on an infinite flat plane, which is what they tell us the flat Earth is, it would never stop. So these lines coming from NAZCA are supposed to never stop, and by their default, they would have to be pointing off either into nothing or what flat earthers are claiming is other lands. But we ain't got no proof behind no other lands. That's all I'm saying. You know, in those maps that people do prove, if the AE map has faults to it, then by default, the ring map has faults to it. There's been proven faults to the AE map, okay? And even flat earthers have concurred with that. That's a fact. The map with the extra continents, people not using their mind enough to think. Do you know how high you would have to be up in the sky to see the other continents? It's hard enough already for us to actually see the earth. We already questioning enough how we could get off of the earth in order for us to see as many and as much continents as we can. What make people think that they could see even more continents? And furthermore, think about how much time it takes to map out all of that. I mean, people got to really think, man. If people just take anything just because it sounds good and it's a good story. I'm not on no story stuff over here. Everything right here is common sense based. These lines that's going from the south right here, going through Antarctica and looping back all the way back over to the same relative position, not only for the south pointing lines, and these lines ain't even at the same degrees. They not starting at the same point. That's how you know it ain't by chance. Because mind you, when you zoom in, it's not, I would get that if, you know, hey, it's like let's say basically the spokes of degrees on a circle coming from a central point. That's not even what's going on here. You can see that these lines cross from right here, one line starting up here in somewhat the center, this line coming across this way, this line is coming, you know, and coming down this way, you know, so they all starting from different places, man. This ain't by no chance. You know, that's common sense.
And I plotted them all around the Earth. See what that would look like. Well, this is what it started out as I first started plotting them, and I wanted to make sure I got all the angles right. And it looks like a jumbled mess. Now let me show you what it looks like on a planetary view.
What excuses flat earthers gonna make?
These are the NAZCA lines spread out over the whole Earth.
Know it. It's gonna be funny hearing it.
zoom out a little here. And if you plot the NAZCA lines around the whole Earth, this is what it looks like. They all converge in Angkor Wat. And they all converge at NAZCA. So I think straight lines are made for a reason. They're meant to be followed.
You hear that? I think straight lines are made for a reason. They're made to be followed. That's common sense. Don't y'all follow roads. The roads are made with straight lines. Don't y'all write on the line when y'all write on paper. You follow the line, don't you? Everything that has to deal with a line, you gonna follow it. And all that the man is also saying through that is that the man, a line is straight, man. It's straight and direct to the point. These lines are not curving as far as what he's graphing out right here. And that's why I was pointing out, in order for the ancients to do something like this, they had to have known what the earth actually looked like. They had to create a grid of the earth. You got to know what the shape of the freaking earth is. That's common sense, man. That's common sense.
So this is the NAZCA lines if they continued over the whole Earth, what they would look like.
So now I'm going to go to the flat earth real
I
quick
think
for the
that
last time to show this. For the Liz ass time. Now, like I was saying, flat earth. AE map. Whatever it is. This is what I was saying. If I could rotate this, I would. I wish they could point it toward, because I don't know if that's making it hard for people to comprehend. Now, I said last time the NAZCA was down here in the center more, like, well, it's up here in this area. Don't change a darn thing. It don't change a thing at all. The lines that the man had, like I said, that were going north is right here in the center. We've heard this many times from flat earthers. So north would be in the center. The lines that are pointing south, what I'm saying, would be having to point on those when you just clearly saw that there were lines pointing south, downward toward the south of the continent of South America. So the lines were pointing south as well. They were pointing everywhere in every 360-degree direction. That's what's so crazy about it. And wrapping back around to the same point right here. What I'm pointing out is that on a flat earth, they could not do that and wrap. Like he said, when you follow a line, straight lines are meant to be followed. The man got common sense. Do y'all got any who thinking anything negative against what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is the straight lines are meant to be. And that's not an insult. I'm just saying, because this is so simple to comprehend. The straight lines that are going north, automatically they was pointing straight there to Angkor Wat. But what I'm saying is on the flat earth, the ones that go south, okay, we on the infinite plane, right? So the lines that's going south will be pointing out where? Towards this way. And if infinity is what? It goes on forever, right? And if it ain't going on forever, then them lines got to be, a flat earther would make the excuse and say that them lines would be pointed, and that's proof of infinite, that's proof of other lands. It ain't no proof of darn other lands, because every last one of them lines that you just saw, man, every last one of them wrapped back around at where? Angkor Wat. Every last one of them. Upon following that ain't by chance, man. And they started in different points, like I said. So that's proven even more that it's not by chance, because the lines did not start in the same vicinity. Lines that start in the same vicinity, that's comprehensible for them to come and loop back around at the same spot, create the same radius and diameter. These lines that go outward like this are supposed to, on the flat earth, go out for infinity. But on the globe, what they correctly show, for whatever reason, y'all can say it ain't a globe if you want to, but explain to me, teach me. Since obviously if you can dislike a video, teach me. If I'm wrong, And you smarter if you can even judge me and say this what I'm saying is wrong. Teach me what's right then. Because obviously, like I'm saying, this right here cannot be debated, man. This it ain't gonna say. I want somebody to try that can. How can I mean you can't do it on the flat Earth? That's what I'm saying. The NAZCA lines, if anything, prove the shape of the Earth, and that's just a fact, man. So anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let that be as is at that, man, because I mean if people can't get, so are the lines at that Angkor Wat place? So are there lines that's a good question. Are there lines? That's what I was looking at when I was looking at Angkor Wat. And honestly, I don't think that them is lines. They look like landscape lines. I'll pull up Angkor Wat real quick. Actually, I got it pulled up already. Good question. That dude right there, Schumann, he always do be using his mind. Good question, bro. At or around the Angkor Wat area. I'm pretty sure it ain't none there. And it makes you wonder how did the signal, because it had to have been some type of signal going on. Um, Let me see. This is something they put. This is the Stonehenge right here. This is a funny thing about it. They put the Stonehenge over this. This is the flat Earth right here. Angkor Wat and NAZCA lie on this great circle centered at the Stonehenge. So that's interesting. That's why I say you got to look into everything, man. It's interesting. I ain't saying it's the truth, but I'm like I say, I'm open to all and everything. That's what the real truth is about. I'm pretty sure I ain't gonna find no lines from Angkor Wat to honestly, I ain't gonna even go on a massive search. I'm pretty sure it ain't none coming from Angkor Wat. This is more of them from NAZCA. This is what they, I mean, these is the ley lines. When you look at the magnetic ley lines or just the ley lines of the earth, if that ain't it, see that? That I mean, that's what they was doing, man. You can tell. And then people wonder how these things, these monuments, all were on the same map and everything. Not map, but grid, energy grid. So I mean, you can pretty much exactly see that. That's what's going on there. They knew what they was doing. They was very smart, and we just now catching on. Um, for whatever reason, they wrap these around the globe. It's really weird, you know. And it comes out on point. So it's something else to me, man. But yeah, that's what I had to show, bro. And hold on, let me see. Right, good info. We can build on this one day. Yeah, definitely we can, because if they are not, those NAZCA lines could just be runways. That's what some people have said in the past. See, this is what I was talking about. I don't want to be on nobody panel and this going on. But see, that's what I was saying about runways. And I mean, I've heard that about runways, about the NAZCA lines potentially being runways. But that's the thing. Some of those lines is very, very skinny. And when I say skinny, bro, I mean, I think that's like 3 feet wide. We know a plane can't land on something 3 feet wide as a runway. So that's kind of debunked, not kind of, but I mean, that's debunked there. But, of course, a line that's 3 feet wide, that's viewable from the air, for going for miles, that's viewable from the air. But they not runways. That's what I was thinking, because some of them do look like runways. But that's where people, I feel like, need to think about the scale of the lines. Maybe the scale of the lines is telling something important there. the thickness of the line, because some of them start off thick and then go down super small. So the scale of the lines, I feel like that means something as well. There's just a lot of stuff, like I say, when people ain't looked into the Nazca lines, especially if you're a flat earther, you concluding already, you cutting yourself short and everything. So I'm gonna study them even more, especially once I'm done with my work, because that's I mean that's part of it. So yeah, man, I just wanted to show that, and I got stuff going on in the background and everything. I hope y'all have a great Father's Day. You know what I'm saying, for the fathers that is out there. Y'all stay safe and everything. And one love, man. I'll be back, and yeah, we can build on that whenever, bro. Just let me know something. Peace out.